Hello fellow steampunk enthusiasts, this is Seemore Bettah with rxsteampunkgoggles.com, and today I have the unique privilege of making a prescription monocle from Paige, who is the shop owner and one of the craftspeople at a Steampunk Life Emporium in Surrey, Virginia. And I'm going to make a monocle, and then in my next video I'm going to do prescription steampunk eyewear with transition lenses that will turn dark when she goes outside. So let's go ahead and begin. I have already programmed this shape into the computer. You can see the little round circle here, and I'll be cutting her prescription monocle for her right eye, and the right eye prescription is -50, -150 at 84. So I'm going to take her lens, -50, -150. I'm going to turn the power drum to 84, and I'll explain what all this means in a little bit. How about this for a lensometer? This is definitely, a genuine time period piece. I need to get it worked on. This thing weighs like a boat anchor. Back when iron was cheap. And yeah, I got to get this baby in action. But until then, let's go ahead and use my Marco 101 lensometer. That's set there. Let me just check the power drum. We're zeroed out there. Everything is looking good. Put the power drum on -50, put the lens into the slot, and I'm going to rotate until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. Find the optical center of the lens, which will be the center of the monocle. Get everything lined up, and I'm going to put 3 dots onto the lens, providing the ink works. Yes it does. So I'm going to put the lens, the reason why I put the 3 dots on there, it has to be oriented in there just perfectly because of her astigmatism. So I'm going to lay that there. Now this is a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. And you would need to attach a double-sided adhesive sticker to this because this is what's going to stick to the lens while it is cutting. So I'm going to put one on there now. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that on there. On the back is a little silver button that is a magnet that's going to do its job twice today. The first time it's going to attach itself to something magnetical there in the arm of my blocker. I'm going to pull the sticker away to make the black side sticky on the second side. And I'm just going to line those dots up so that they are perfectly where they're supposed to be. This is the geometric center of the frame where the optical center of the lens is going to go. Make sure everything is lined up perfectly. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own. It weighs 200 pounds. Put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own steampunk goggles at home, and you won't need this guy to do it anymore for you. So we're going to put the lens into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. Now this magnet is going to do its job a second time now. It's going to attach it to another magnet in there. I'm going to pull up the shape. Where's my stylus? Pull up the shape onto the computer, and it says we are cutting a monocle that is programmed in there. And so anyone else who buys steampunk eyewear from them, I can cut your prescription lenses for you. I'm going to, let's see, these are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen. I'm going to put a light bevel onto the front of the lens, and I'm going to put a slightly heavier safety bevel on the rear of the lens. I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the monocle, which it is. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once, is measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to move the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you really won't have any in your monocle with your prescription. Now if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Now polycarb lenses are 40% thinner and lighter. Let me grab, here's your lenses, your transition lenses, but polycarbonate lenses are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, a Steampunk Life Emporium in Surrey, Virginia. They will cover you in steampunk from head to toe. They have many artists, locally and otherwise, who have things. They change out their displays, but anyone in the mood for some really cool artwork, books, anything having to do with the steampunk life, I encourage you to visit them. You can reach them. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy. Have a really cool logo. She and her husband, JP, go to many cons a year, and I look forward to working with them. And of course, anyone watching this video, if you've designed your own steampunk eyewear, I can put the lenses in it for you. I happened to meet them at a convention, and I asked, why don't you put your, she was wearing glasses, and I was like, why don't you put your prescription lenses into some steampunk goggles? And she had always been told that was not possible. Well, with me, it is. All things are possible. I emphasize creative solutions. I come up with non-traditional answers for non-traditional questions. So it is now smoothing off. It's actually getting the bevel, the V-shaped bevel. The lens was flat up till now, but it's getting the V-shaped bevel that's going to fit inside the bevel of the monocle. So this lever is moved out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something you would find on a Dremel tool. It's going to put a very soft, smooth safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens, just in case any of this comes in contact with the eyebrow region or anywhere else in the occipital ridge. It will be smooth, and now it's going to put a slightly heavier bevel on the rear surface of the lens, even though this guard protects your eye while wearing it, but I always like to put a safety bevel on every lens. Now in just a moment, I will open this door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours, but then I can melt it. Alright, so let's take the lens out. I'm going to dry everything off so it's not slippery. I'm going to use my thumbnail to go around and remove any of the optical debris, optical sawdust that may still be left on your lens as a residual of the cutting process. I'm going to see if it will, let's see, this is the right eye, so this is going to be the top, that's going to be the bottom. I am going to pop this in this way if it fits. I may have to take it down by hand a little more. Actually, let's do it, let the computer do its work. So I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to bring it down 1/10 of a millimeter. To all my friends, this is a millimeter between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/10 of that distance off, going all the way around the circumference of the lens until it fits in there perfectly. I cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide. You want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses so you have a perfect fit. I do not want to force it into the monocle to cause it to stretch or to roll. That could shorten the life of any eyewear. So water does spray onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the edging cycle to wash away the debris. 1/10 of a millimeter has been removed, and the safety bevel is going to be applied again to the front and then rear surface of the lens. So Paige had been told numerous times that you cannot put prescription eyewear into the frames that they sell, and I'm here to tell you that is not true. You purchase any of the frames from them and then mail me your frame with your prescription. I will need to know your pupillary distance, which is the distance between the center of your eyes. If you think of the crosshairs of a scope vertically and horizontally, I need to know exactly where everyone's eye will be sitting in the frame. The monocle, that is not important. I just go ahead and place it into the center because you manually move the monocle. You cannot move the eyeglasses around horizontally while wearing them. Let's go ahead and take everything out. Dry everything off again. Make sure there's no more debris onto the lens. Let's see, that is the top, this is the bottom. Let's see if it's going to fit into it. Let's go ahead and go old school for a little bit, shall we? I am going to come over here to my handstone. We're going to turn it off, and I'm going to manually go all the way around until the lens fits in there well. Let's see here. I always like a good challenge. This is the first time cutting a lens for the Monocle. I'm doing everything live in real time. Let me take a little bit more off. And again, you want a perfectionist like me cutting your lenses. I am a licensed optician, so no prescription is too difficult. And there we go, fits in there perfect. Let's go ahead and take this block off. And here's one of my creations that I make. When I'm done with the sticker, I save them until this is going to grow into a big blob. So let's go ahead and double check the prescription. We're still on 84. We're going to put it in, check the power of the lens, and I'm getting, where's my flashlight? I'm getting -50, which is exactly halfway between 0 and 1. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, and it starts at 0 and goes up in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, and so on. So you need 2 steps of far-sighted correction. You are nearsighted. Without your glasses on, you can see everything close up great. So you need 2 steps of far-sighted correction. Now you need 6 steps of astigmatism correction. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just refers to the shape of your eyes, like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. You don't freak out when you hear that. So it just means you have 2 curves on your eyes, a far-sighted curve this way and an astigmatic curve this way. It's a little bit steeper. And that number 84 is the fine tune. Now that's how we fine tune those 2 curves to make everything nice and crisp. Let me check that. That is good, and we end up at -2. Remember high school algebra, where you add 2 like signs together? Don't worry, I've forgotten it too. But let's use today's terms. If someone had borrowed 50 cents and they borrowed another $1.50, they would owe you $2. That's where we're at $2 in the red, 2 diopters. So that is cut perfectly. I couldn't have done that any better if I had done it myself. So let's go ahead and clean the lenses off. And so anyone else out there who needs prescription steampunk eyewear, I can do that. Just contact me. My email is rxsteampunkgoggles@gmail.com. Just send me pictures of your eyewear and I'll let you know what would be involved in order to, and of course along with a copy of your prescription, that would let us know what is involved. And now you can wear this in your eye. Boom, how about that? So thank you. Again, if anyone has any questions, email me at rxsteampunkgoggles@gmail.com, or you can click the contact me button on the website. Paige at a Steampunk Life Emporium in Surrey, Virginia. Hope you enjoyed watching as I cut a prescription monocle for you to now that you can wear at all the cons that you go to, the steampunk conventions. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to steampunk eyewear. Thank you.